Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Arrow Season 1 episode, I think like 21 or 22, and this episode is called The Undertaking. So let's talk about this episode. A lot happened in this episode, actually. What I've seen with these past, this episode and last episode, it's become more complex with Arrow, and you really can't miss an episode, I guess, especially getting towards this ending of the season. So in this episode, I guess we'll go character by character. We'll talk about Roy and Thea first, because a little less happened with them. Roy is still looking for the hood. He still wants to find the hood because he lost someone in the past, and he wants to learn the skills that the hood has. And Thea's like, well, I can't handle this. And Thea's like, I don't think you should do this. My brother said don't do it, because Oliver says in this episode, don't look for the hood. He's not a good guy to look for. So I'm sure Thea will come back, and you know, now we're getting a little bit more depth with Roy because of this, and I'm excited to see what happens with Roy. I like the way he's going. I like the mystery to his character, but not too much mystery that we don't know anything about the character. I think Thea and the Roy story is getting interesting. And seeing Thea in this episode become kind of like a detective in here, finding out about Merlin having connection to the vigilante. I mean, that's pretty good for her first try of just trying to figure out some information. So I definitely see that in the future becoming a better thing for a character, maybe becoming part of the action for a character in Roy, maybe having that foreshadowing of both of them becoming speedy, and I think finally we got to see her being useful. So that was interesting with Thea. Next we'll talk about Laurel. We do have the relationship with Oliver. Oliver, you know, keeps going back and forth. He even mentions, like, I feel like the writers kind of poke fun and said, hey, you know, I keep going back and forth with you, but I think we can finally be together, because Oliver decides after this whole undertaking and this Glades, after this is over, he probably will quit being the hood because there's no other reason to do it. The hit list really didn't mean anything, which is kind of a bad thing, because the whole season felt like it didn't mean anything because of the hit list. So, well, hit list didn't mean anything, but this means something. So, I mean, that's kind of a bad part on the writers, because, again, we dedicated the whole season to this hit list, and like I said, it was really useless, and even Oliver saying it's useless in this episode. But going back to Laurel, I thought that was a finally type of moment. We can see their relationship develop. I'm actually more of a Felicity and Oliver fan. I ship them a little bit more, and you get to see a lot of that tension in this episode also, and just fun tension. I think, of course, there's the destiny thing with Laurel and Oliver, but then there's just the funness and the chemistry with Felicity and Oliver. So I'm excited to see more of that. I think we have to have Laurel and Oliver to be in a relationship before we can determine anything. I need to see them in a relationship, so I like that they did that. Hopefully that develops Laurel's character, because I think she's actually the least developed character in this whole entire series so far. It's really disappointing because of what she's supposed to come. She's supposed to be Black Canary, and I don't see that. I think she has, again, the least development, kind of the most annoying character next to Thea. I think at least Thea has been developing a little, and you can see her going through hardships in this episode, you know, with, I'll say, Walter left. He gets divorced by Moria because he can't handle this, and he's being very suspicious, which I think maybe the writers are saying, hey, we don't want Walter anymore, or just saying, hey, Walter, let's make a stand and make him a defined character. But going back to Thea, I think, Thea's become more struggled because of that. But with Laurel, she doesn't have many struggles. She's just kind of more of the love interest right now. But she doesn't have really a great personality, because let's go back to Smallville. Smallville had Lois, and she was the love interest, of course, but she had her own personality, her reporterness. You know, she was a defined character before she was with Clark, way before she was with Clark, and I feel like Laurel doesn't have that yet, and she is such a big character. Black Canary, I mean, that's a pretty big character, and she's destined to be a big character, but with this first season, I don't feel much about her character, and I really feel bad because of that, because I want to like her character. This is a really fun episode, I thought, with Felicity and Dig and Oliver teaming up to try to get the Trojan on Malcolm Merlin's computer was really fun. I love when they team up as a team, and it really seems like they are a Green Arrow team, and I love that. Them all working together, really feeling like they're friends, and I think that's probably my favorite scene. You know, definitely some chuckles with Felicity, and I think she always gives us the laughter in every episode. And even Oliver, when the guy was trying to hit on Felicity, kinda, he slams the papers on the ground. I thought that was hilarious. I actually laughed out loud with that. I laughed out loud a lot of times in this episode, actually. But Oliver actually gave me a chuckle, which was so nice. And just Stephen Amell's face when he did that. I think he's getting a lot better with the comedic stuff. I felt like, you know, a lot of times he has been a little hollow, but I think he's getting a lot better with his character and interacting with each other. I think because the writers kind of held him back with him going back and forth saying, hey, I am Oliver, but I have to be different as Oliver than I am as Arrow. But I think now that Felicity and Dig is part of the team, and now that he's being truthful to everybody, I feel that Stephen Amell could shine because of that. So I like that in this episode. Moria's intentions in this episode was kind of weird. I think, I don't know where to go with her character. She definitely could be saying some lies. I think she actually has some more tricks up her sleeves. I think she has more to do with Merlin than what she's told Oliver in this episode. So I definitely think she's more of a villain than what she's saying, and I'm sure with the next episode we will have some revelations with that character. And I'm kind of excited for Moria to be the villain. I think that'd be interesting. More of the villain, at least. I mean, I know she has kind of the right motives of what she's doing, but technically, if you look at it, Merlin does too. He just wants to save the city, even though he's not doing it in the right way. Totally wrong way. He is the villain. But you can see, like, he has some intentions of doing it. It's not like he's just doing it for selfish reasons. But you could say the same thing for Moria. The intentions is for her family, but she's not doing the right thing. And I think we'll learn more about Moria as next episode continues with the last episode. Okay, then we'll talk about the cliffhanger also. Merlin finds out that Oliver is Green Arrow, or Arrow, and I already knew that was going to happen because there were promo pics of Oliver being chained, unmasked, and Merlin just walking around. So I already knew that was going to happen, so it didn't shock me. But I think it was interesting how they ended it. It's like, it didn't continue from that. I really thought they were going to have maybe, you know, a little dialogue, but they really stopped it right there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I think it's just going to be interesting to see how these two characters fight each other and see really what happens with this end of the episode. I think with these last couple of episodes, it really was getting into a climax story and really learning about itself, this show. I think it's learning, oh, this is how we write a show. This is how we make complexity. Because I think with these last couple of episodes, it has been really written pretty well, especially for Arrow. It's, you know, getting more complexity, getting more stories in there, getting more character interactions. So I really liked this episode. I mean, were there problems? I would say a couple, some problems. I mean, there were some slow spots, but I think with the development, it didn't matter as much because there were slow spots when we had the hit list, but there's only slow spots because there wasn't development there either. But I think there's a lot of development here that you didn't really notice the slow spots that much. Also, I want to just mention, Tommy was a little annoying in this episode. He's playing the villain, but he's not, and then he's kind of being whiny also. It's like, oh, you have Laurel. So I feel like he's a little bit of a whiny character, but, and not loving him. I feel like he does have the complexity to be a good character. And then when, you know, Laurel and Oliver, they're getting together, and then Tommy sees it through the window. I mean, that was kind of, they could have figured out a different way to do that. That was very out there and very to the point, and it felt like they didn't really think about it as they were writing. It's like, oh, how's Tommy gonna find out? Let's just make him look through the window. So I thought that was way too obvious for that. So, yeah, there were little problems here and there, but honestly, this was a really good episode. I really hope this is the way Arrow goes for season 2. It's just written like this. Forget about the hit list. That was what made the show go slow. But now I really feel like it's finding itself. I don't think it's the perfect show yet, though. Like, every episode's edge of your seat moment. I don't think it was the edge of your seat moment in this episode, but I think it's leading to that edge of your seat moment for the next episode. And I think, again, that what they did with the complexity with these last couple of episodes, I really hope they go direction with that with Arrow for season 2. But very excited for the next episode. Tell me your theories. What do you think is going to happen next episode? Who do you think will find out? I think someone will find out. What do you think will make these characters more complex? Laurel, maybe, you know, how will she become more complex? Do you think Thea is becoming a little bit more complex in this episode? Because I really think she has grown as a character since episode 1. I think she's become not annoying anymore. I think she really has some potential. And her and Laurel has trade spaces because Laurel's a little bit more annoying now. But, definitely looking forward to see more from these characters and to see what happens with the season finale and how this show actually handles a season finale, because we haven't seen a season finale from the show yet. So tell me in the comments below what you thought, and I hope you guys enjoyed. There will be one more review for Arrow for season 1, then I'll be reviewing Arrow for season 2 when it comes back in the fall. But one more episode review for Arrow till it ends for the season. And we have our long summer hiatus. But tell me what you thought in the comments below, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Red Situations, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.